satanic worshipers still today worship the devil along the Licking River, right here behind Bobby Mackey's nightclub.
The most haunted nightclub in America.
Tell us the name of the person that is upstairs, the spirit or entity. Carl. Carl? No way.
On Everlane! You understand me? Leaving. 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 Leaving.
Look by the exits. They will get you.
Who will get us?
Charlie.
Hey, Chris.
The reason why it's so haunted, it's obviously being in the most haunted nightclub in all of America. One Mackey?
Ain't no way.
Today we're going to be attempting to survive 5 hours inside Bobby Mackey's. If you guys are new, I'm Gio.
I'm Chris.
We also have a returning guest. Give it up for Arlene.
Arlene, how do you feel to be inside of probably one of the most haunted places here in the United States, allegedly?
Oh my God, I'm scared, honestly.
We only have 5 hours here inside Bobby Mackey's. Are you guys ready to investigate or what?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
I'm Alex Reinsen. This is Bobby Mackey's Music World. So there's stories that go around about this place that say that back in the 1850s, this was home to a slaughterhouse. That ran for about 40 years and then it was abandoned. During the abandonment, the well on the property was used for satanic rituals because what better place to dump blood and gore than what already had blood and gore being dumped into it. In 1896, there was a rich Indiana farm girl by the name of Pearl O'Brien. She fell in love with a UC dental student by the name of Scott Jackson. Now these two, they were, having a lot of bip bip diddly bop, they were getting their thing on, and eventually Pearl became pregnant. She was all excited, she's getting ready to start her family, she's gonna have a child, she loves this man, while Scott Jackson on the other hand had hoes in different area codes, so he wasn't about that life. He was like, man, is there any way we can get rid of it? She's like, no, I'm excited, we're gonna keep the baby, and he goes, all right, just have this beverage that's not contaminated with anything, and he was trying to get her to miscarry. He was trying to drug her with cocaine. All right, but obviously that didn't work. So Scott Jackson and his friend Alonzo Walling decided they had enough tools and enough know-how. They were going to go ahead and attempt the procedure themselves. So they took her to a field 2.5 miles away from here where they attempted the procedure, and obviously they botched it. So much so that Pearl started to, scream. She started to panic, so they decapitated her. Now, when police found the body, they were able to tell she was alive when she was decapitated by the blood splatter on the ground. And they were also able to identify her because of her clothes as well as her shoes. Back then, we didn't have Nike's, Fila's, things like that. We had custom-made shoes, tailor-made shoes. So they typically had a special logo and a special serial number. So they were able to go to the person who made them, who then sent them to Greencastle, Indiana, to the family, who then identified her by her dress. So a month later, Scott Jackson and Alonzo Walling were incarcerated, and they were incarcerated for an entire year, all the while being asked what you do with the head. And the story is that they would never tell, when in reality they would tell two different stories. One would say they took it to a sand barge up in Dayton, and the other one would say that they took the head and they threw it in the incinerator at the school. Eventually, they went up to the gallows down here in Newport, and they had the noose around their neck, and they said, listen, we'll let you live a life of incarceration, you just have to tell us what you did with the head. And supposedly, they had said that they couldn't tell them because they would bring the wrath of Satan down on them. And with them supposedly saying that, as well as, this place being known for the satanic rituals, and then apparently when they found Pearl's body, they had bloodhounds that tracked them to this location. Piecing it all together, they thought they took the head and they threw it down the well as an offering to Satan. Really, that's not what they said. They again told the same stories that they were telling. And so they were up on the gallows, ready to hang, and they said, all right, last words. And supposedly they had said that they'd be back here to haunt this land forever and always. Honestly, what they said was, the man to my right knows my innocence, And the man to the right was like, the man on my left knows my innocence. And Alonzo Walling's like, all right, well, since he's not going to tell the truth, you know, God can judge me. And so they were hung, and it said that the ropes were just a little too short, and that when they hung, they didn't snap their necks. So instead, they just suffocated to death. The whole story of Pearl Bryan is completely true, right? And how they, you know, they took her head and it's never been found. But the thing is being tied to here, it's a little difficult because, you know, that goes with the story of this used to be a slaughterhouse, when that wasn't the case. So back in 1876, this land was actually home to a distillery called the Old 76 Distillery. And it ran all the way until Prohibition times. And then obviously it had to close. So there's no way that two men with a decapitated head would bring it here to a working bourbon distillery and throw it down a well that's being used to bring fresh water up to make our bourbon, you know? Right. So they believe that they actually did take the head and they took it to the incinerator because they both had access to it, and it's just easier for them, you know, it's closer by. Now, all along the Licking River, which is one of the few rivers in the world that actually flows north, they're saying that, you know, there's a lot of spiritual, you know, energies around it that, you know, that the land up and down of it is either cursed or blessed, things like that. Well, this land is definitely cursed because, so the 76 Distillery, while it ran, it had plenty of issues such as fires and explosions. And with that comes death. Eventually, Prohibition ended, and then it caught fire again. And then it became the Latin Quarters, and that's why we have a big LQ on the floor here, for the Latin Quarters. Now, it was pretty much the same exact thing, except for they added some stuff to get the guys rolling in, you know, such as naked ladies and brotheling. Because what better way to get the guys coming in than boobs and booze, you know? Carl's apartment, and they made that into the high rollers room. That's where all the illegal gambling was going on. And the casino was a bingo hall. And eventually they kept getting raided and raided and raided. And there's actually one news article of the place being raided, and they found $10,000 in a safe down in the basement, as well as 14 showgirls locked in the jail cell. Why? No clue. We don't know if it was because they were prostitutes, if they were because they were illegal, or what. Eventually there was a sheriff by the name of George Ratterman who had enough of the Latin Quarter shit. And so he decided that he was going to go with a petition to each business in Wilder, have them sign it, and get the Latin Quarter shut down. And that's exactly what he did. He got the place shut down by doing that. And then it became the Hard Rock. Now, I'm not talking about the Hard Rock Cafe with the bomb-ass burgers, y'all. I'm actually talking about a biker bar, and it was nicknamed the Bloody Bucket. And that's because there was a lot of fights happening, and there was a lot of people getting stabbed. Wilders started keeping their eye on the place, and eventually one night a man was shot and killed, and the bar was closed. And then after that, Bobby found it, fell in love, had to have it, and it's been history since. So, we're going to start over here at the restrooms. Now, back in the day, building codes were a little different. Now, the women's restroom here has always been a women's restroom. The, you know, reason why it's so haunted, it's obviously being in the most haunted nightclub in all of America. But the men's restroom, on the other hand, used to be the main office back in the day. So that's why if you actually look up at the ceiling in here, you can still see that it's very ornate, and you can even see the molding in the back. So where you all had walked up from the gravel lot, that wall alongside of you, that all used to be a part of the building, and that used to be where there was bedrooms and things like that. And it all burnt down after Bobby had purchased the place. Now, in here is where people claim that they, you know, have had the trash can thrown at them, and this is where Sam and Colby kept hearing the tapping.
Right.
So,
like that'll work.
this right here is what we call the Monster Room, and that's not because Mike Wazowski and James P. Sullivan like to hang out here. It's because at Mackey's we like to do things a little differently. One is our line dances, two is our Jaeger bombs. So we don't do Red Bull and Jaeger, we do Monster and Jaeger. Now this back in the day used to be the kitchen, and this is said where Carl Lawson had his exorcism performed. Now a lot of stuff that used to happen as well as, you know, happen is obviously chairs cannot move anymore, but chairs would move. You would hear footsteps, and you would actually see shadow figures walking back and forth in front of the windows.
Alright guys, we are here in the
Monster Room.
Monster Room. This is where the exorcism took place.
This body is mine.
No, it's not.
This body is mine.
No, it's not.
The fuck it
No, it's
ain't.
not.
Go on, man, God.
This belongs to Carl, and it's time that you left him alone.
So we do have a REM pod here. You guys already know, detects motion using electromagnetic fields. And Chris's iPad right there is a spirit talker, and then my phone, the Necrometer app. They both allow us to hear different words coming from there that the spirits can potentially say. And then we have flashlights over there for yes or no questions.
The red's getting ready to go off, and it did. The white light, of course, just went off and on as we were talking about it as well. Usually what we try to do is do a white one as yes, the red one as no, kind of like, you know, no being red, and then white being yes.
That one said machine.
So thank you for shutting off those flashlights for us. But if there is any spirit here with us today, could you turn on the white flashlight for us to let us know that there is something here with us today? Or even set off this REM pod that is on the floor, and all you have to do is come up and touch it, like, or get close to it. Got a red flashlight that popped on, so pretty much saying no, there's no spirit here with us, or it doesn't want to communicate with us.
That is temperature change, right?
That is a temp change.
And not gonna lie, guys, it is currently like 80 degrees in here.
Yeah, so it's all humid.
It's humid as fuck.
Could you shut off that red flashlight one more time for us so we could ask you another question, please?
Hit.
Or turn on the white one, that's fine too, I guess.
EMF reader right here. For some reason, the EMF reader, like, it's stained green right here, the second one. I don't know why.
What's that apple?
Jerry.
Yeah, the necrometer. That. I know it
It said machine, and then Jerry.
Leave here.
leave here.
Yeah, leave here.
Why do you want us to leave? We mean you no harm. We just want to come and investigate and kind of find out the back history of this place. We barely found out the history today, and we believe that a lot of shady things or harsh things had happened here. But if you would love to continue telling us your story, please let us know by setting off one of these flashlights onto this podium right here. You got two there. Please set one of those off and we'll continue talking.
Or
the red light went off or went on.
If there are any other spirits here, can you set off the REM pod?
We got a total of 5 hours to spend here with you guys today, and we plan to spend every 5 hours possible with y'all. This was a very pricey investigation.
Flashlights turned on.
Mabel.
Mabel.
Is your name Mabel? If your name is Mabel, could you shut off one of those flashlights for us?
Lights.
White. The white light, maybe?
Yeah, white flashlight.
Because it has the white flashlight on. Could you shut off the white flashlight?
Gee,
Thank you.
like that.
Thank
That was
you.
quick.
All right. This one's trying to like spike up to a green, or was it already
Yeah,
on
well, it
two?
was like doing that for some reason. It like stays stuck in the second one.
The second one.
Yeah.
We were told that there was an exorcism that happened at this location where we are currently standing at. If that is true,
Disagree.
disagree. So there wasn't no exorcism here? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
Yes.
Flashlight turned on white for yes. There was also said that we could see
It's
shadows.
time to leave.
It's time to leave. Why do you want us to leave? You're really pushy on getting us to leave. Once again, we got 5 whole hours here. We're not going to leave right away. But you're more than welcome to communicate with us. Is it upsetting you that this place is soon to be demolished? Does that upset you?
Red flashlight.
So, a no.
Diddler. The number 1.
Leo?
Leo.
The number 1 and Leo. What about the number 1? What could you tell us about the number 1? We got that quite a bit when we were at the Mackey'S Villa as well.
Diddler means hoax.
Hoax.
So fake.
Like fake, so the exorcism was fake is pretty much what it's telling us,
But
because we were talking
there's-
about the exorcism.
Yeah. But how come there's like
So much
The flashlight turned on.
There's actual footage of the exorcism actually happening in this spot, so
Right.
how is it a hoax?
Right.
Can you kind of tell us?
Could you shut both of those flashlights off for us real quick?
It's like I said, no.
It's like they're
Patricia.
All right, once again, if you could please shut off these flashlights for us so we could ask you another question.
it's like
Go ahead and do the red one now, please.
Shut it off in 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3.
Perfect. No, we said both of them off. Shut it off, please. We'll talk to you with more respect. Just go ahead and shut it off. We just want to have your attention as you have ours. Or we have yours, you have ours. Yeah.
Hex.
Hex.
Cast a spell on or bewitch.
So go back into possession.
Gash.
Gash. Like a scratch? Is that what you're referring to? Are you referring to like an open wound, like a gash? Could you turn on that red light for us?
Hear my footsteps.
Red light turned on. And if you could set that REM pod off for us now, they were said that you could see shadows coming from that window. If you could show yourself to us, please show yourself anywhere in this building. We'll love to see you. We are not afraid of you. We just want to personally see you. We want to tell your story and then prove that this is a real haunted location.
Wait, let's be quiet for like 10-15 seconds because it said hear my footsteps.
I'm here next to you.
I'm here next to you.
If you're next to us, can you prove it by touching this REM pod that's over here in the corner?
Who are you next to?
Who are you next to? We'll give you our names. Tell us our names through the spirit talker or the necrometer
Protect.
of who you are here.
I did not believe in this.
As in communicating with the dead, with the humans, with the alive? Is that what you're not believing in? That we're able to hear you and communicate with you? Who are you standing next to? My name is Chris.
My name is Gio.
My name is Arlene.
Could you say one of our names?
We did get Chris's name at McIntyre Villa, like his full name, Christopher.
Not only that, but also at the White Face House too, in that barn.
Yeah.
I'll throw something.
Feel free. Go ahead and throw something. Let us know where you are. I'm gonna hold this EMF in my hand right here. If you're standing next to me, could you set this EMF off to red? Nicola? So if you're standing right next to me, can you set this off? Alright, I'm gonna pass this to Arlene. If you're standing next to Arlene, she's gonna be holding it. Would you set it off for her if you're standing next to Arlene?
Dirt.
Dirt.
Like the dirt inside the basement.
Yeah, could be.
How's it going off?
If you're standing next to me,
No, it hasn't. But it's
can
crazy
you make
because
this spike up?
it was on 2 green on me, but it's only just the 1 green on her.
Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna pass it to Gio now.
Like still blinking on the green?
Slightly or what?
Yeah.
Like when I had it was like full on green.
Yeah, 2 greens.
Like literally it was full on green. I'm gonna turn the spirit box on. And it's gonna give us the ability to hear your voice through this device. It's gonna run through a series of frequencies of channels.
Face.
Yeah, who's that?
Face.
Someone's in the parking lot.
For real?
Oh shit, I forgot this is a window.
There's someone here. What don't you know? You keep on saying you don't know.
Yeah, I said face earlier when you guys were looking at the window.
Are you saying that if I turn this on and we can hear your voice, that you don't know that you'll be able to speak into it?
So,
Sound like maybe Joe? Could you please give us your name through this spirit box? Just tell us your name, we'll be able to hear your voice. Flash that one on, on the white one. People are coming. People were coming.
They are coming.
and then that
They
one
are
said they are
and
coming.
People are coming. Who is people and who are they and why are they coming? Is it the people that were once here that were partying and they're still coming back to this location because this is where they like to party?
That car left, right?
Yeah, that car dipped. That's why I went down here so I could watch them and see if they were going to pull off or not. And they pulled off and went that way over there.
Just
More? I said more?
more. Yeah.
More or war? One of the two? Can you tell us exactly who are coming? Is it good people?
Yes. Or
You
what?
said yep, right?
Yeah, yup or yes.
Yep or yes?
Respect.
Respect. We do respect you guys. And we hope you respect us. Once again, we mean you no harm. We just want to communicate with you and be able to tell your story. before they demolished this building.
Could you say the name Carl through that device?
Please don't. Do you want us to move a different location than the monster room? No questions asked.
That was like clear. Like I heard that. No questions asked.
I asked where should we go, and it says take a right. Do you really want it? That's what it said, right? Did you not hear that?
Yeah.
Too?
Do you really want it?
Do you really want it?
Take a right where?
Are you telling us to go to the stage? Is that where you want us to go? The stage is to my right.
The flashlight turned on.
Did it?
The yes one.
The yes flashlight?
Yeah.
Let's pack up over here at the monster location and let's go to the stage.
This used to be the main ballroom. Obviously, it looks completely different now than what it used to because everything's being taken out. I get a lot of people, a lot of times I get when I have small groups of women, typically smaller women, as we're walking through here, they'll tell me that it feels like something's kind of running up on them, and a lot of times it'll get like right at their shoulder. I was given a tour one time, and there was chairs and tables all over the place here. And I was watching a chair that something had caught my eye, and I was watching a shadow move. It was just kind of like it was swaying. And I'm sitting there staring at it, and all of a sudden it came, it moved, and I was like, whoa, 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 hold on. Everybody's like, what? And I was like, give me a second here. So I went walking up, and I was looking out in the parking lot, seeing if there was, any cars out there that could shine lights, and there wasn't. And so I started walking down the bar here, and I'm looking at the chair all puzzled, and all of a sudden I noticed my shadow. And it's where that was, and I sat there and I started doing this, and I started mimicking what the shadow was doing. And then I just moved to the side and it disappeared. So to me, something was walking down the bar, it stopped, and I could see its shadow kind of swaying there. And then it came fully towards us. Now, this is the main stage. All right, this is where Bobby would perform every Friday and Saturday night. Now, this is not the original stage. Bobby actually had to build it a little bit bigger because he has a multi-piece set, and he had a lot of bands that were coming in that were going to be multi-piece as well. A lot of stuff that'll happen on here is people will take pictures, they'll see orbs, they'll see shadows, they'll see mists that typically take the form of a woman's face, because we did have lady dancers that would be up here back in the day. We also have people who would say that they'll see an apparition poke its head out from that doorway there. Sometimes they'll even do a full step out, look, and then go back in. Now, this was before the holes were covered up, after the holes were covered up. They actually had 2 paintings that were there and they took them down. So as of recently, I haven't seen anything kind of hanging out back there. But back when the bar was open, I'd be here working on the weekends because I used to run the bowl and everything like that. One of my jobs was to go back behind that stage and hit 8 switches in a numerical order. And I fucking hated it. Because going back there, it was kind of like, going into mom and dad's bedroom, looking for your Christmas gifts, and they're about 5 minutes from the house. You got to get your shit in and get out. So I would literally I'd walk around that corner, I'd go up 2 steps, open that door, and I'd be like, listen, man, I know I'm not supposed to be in here, 876-54321. I just got a job, and I'm out. Like, I did it so damn quick. It's so uneasy. Since we have the dance stage here, talk about dancers. Johanna. All right. So it said that Johanna was a dancer here and that her father had run the Latin quarters, and she fell in love with a singer by the name of Robert Randall. These two were so much in love that they wanted to run away and get married, and when she found out she was pregnant, they decided to put those plans into action. And around the time that she was 5 months pregnant, Robert Randall went missing, and she knew that was not like her love. And so she started, finding things out, and eventually she found out that her father had gotten rid of Robert Randall. And so she poisoned her father and poisoned herself. And unfortunately for her and the unborn child, supposedly she didn't live. I say supposedly on all this stuff because we have no proof of Johanna's existence. We don't have a death certificate, we don't have employment records, birth certificates, pictures, anything like that. All we have is from one man, Carl Lawson. So supposedly one night he was approached by the spirit of Johanna, who told him to dig, D-I-G. So he went down into the basement, and that's where he broke ground and found not only the well, but he found a note saying go to the old light room. And the old light room is right up here. So you go back behind the stage, you go up a ladder, and then you go across the catwalk, and then you're going to be in the light room. And this is where he supposedly found her diary, as well as a quote-unquote poem that's written on the wall. It's not a poem, it's actually a song from a lady named Katie Smith back in the day. It says, "You ask me when my love for you will end, I tell you never. Just like sandcastles in the sand, though we may be washed away, my love for you will never end." So Carl found the diary, and that's where he read all this information, supposedly. You're gonna start asking, all right, well, what happened to the diary? Let's see it. Well, one night he got done reading the diary. He was down here in the bathroom, handling business. And at that time, the men's restroom had a door on it. It starts getting hot. And he's like, man, did I leave the radiator on a little too hot, And he turns around and the place goes up in flames, and there's Red Masterson, which he just sees as a man right now. Carl freaks out. And so he starts running towards the doorway, and he's, pushing on the door, and the door's not budging one single bit. He's starting to ram it, nothing. So he has his back to it, and, this man's walking down the hallway slowly, kind of like a creepy Halloween movie. And Carl, with his back against the door, all of a sudden it opens up and he falls back, and a man walks over him, and a black dog jumps over him. And Carl freaks out, and he gets out of the bathroom, the door closes, and he's checking himself over, and he goes, all right, I'm good. Where's the diary? So he opens up the door, both men, the dog, flames, and the diary. Gone. So again, all this stuff, all the information we have about Johanna is all from Carl. Now we also have had, spirit box sessions, EVPs, things like that. Plenty of people who have, caught evidence of a spirit saying they're Johanna, as well as rose-scented perfume and things like that, which it's said that Johanna wore a lot of. We have all these paranormal evidence, but we don't have any physical.
If you set up this REM pod one more time, you're able just to set it off to green. Could you do that one more time for us, please?
Holy shit.
You get it?
Yeah. Sick view. Like if I put it in regular mode, or I guess Arlene's view, the stage looks like mad sick. Like this lighting, this is going off right now.
And it's going off on the REM pod. Are you agreeing with us that the stage looks pretty sick? This is the dance floor. Did you enjoy dancing here to this country music that Bobby Mackey used to play for you guys at this location?
Alright guys, we have spirit talkers once again. Flashlights for yes or no.
The 2000s. What happened in the 2000s? Could you be more specific in the 2000s?
We also have a cat ball here that is set. Lights up by physical touch. Should shut off.
Or that would go off. Flashlight went on or off. There was once said here on top of the stage that before they took out the paintings of the windows on stage, there would be a shadow person or an aspiration that would show itself around that cubby hole. Could you do that for us today? Could you show yourself to us?
Yes, I did.
Yes, I did.
Like, yes, I did. They showed himself to us.
You know how earlier they said that? What'd they say? I can see you or something like that. When we were over there.
Later.
So maybe there was.
He said later I will show you myself. Why can't you do it now? Do you not have enough energy right now to show yourself to us? Did you hear something right there? Or am I tripping?
I kind of heard something like over there, and I'm gonna
the
like.
water.
Over where?
Oh,
Like over here?
that might be Chris.
There was like a white little orb that just went up like this.
On the camera?
Yeah.
And this is going off as that's doing that, and it was going green. And just a FYI guys, like, I can't set that off as I was just walking by right here. Like, that wasn't me. Like, literally I was just like walking by. Just so you guys could debunk that wasn't me. So we also brought 2 devices on the stage. They are cat balls. Could you please set off one of those cat balls for us? Uncle. That's the second time we got uncle, because it gave me the uncle last time. Turned both these flashlights on.
I want to hear a tap. Can you tap something?
Streams? Oh,
Said
spirits.
street.
Oh, street. Like the street of the cars going by? Is that what you're saying, referring to, that we heard?
Yeah, there's currently a lot of cars passing by right now. Probably at least every 5 minutes.
Could you mock this noise for us?
Scarlet.
Alex, our tour guide, told us that the building, like when it rains outside, it rains in here pretty much. It leaks. When it rains, it pours, yeah. A view of what we're currently seeing. Switch this off tonight to regular mode. That's Arlene filming over there. And then this is the stage. Swear to God, like that M over there, I thought that was like a face.
Where?
Like, well, from like where I'm standing, like kind of like my side view or whatever.
Oh, the M on
Yeah,
there?
the M where it says Bobby Mackey's. I thought that was a
Right here,
face.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Right
I
there.
thought I seen something over there, like in this room.
Where like if I look this way, like
Cold.
Cold, frequent.
Frequent.
It's not too cold here.
Sucks
It actually feels somewhat hot up in this location, unless you're telling us to go to the basement to where it's a little bit colder down there. And then frequent, are you talking about the frequencies on the spirit box? Did you want us to turn that back on? Questions?
Frequent noises
Number
coming
7.
from that room because we
The
were talking
numbers.
about that room.
Regina.
Check your home.
check your home.
Yeah, because it says that and it says Regina.
Check your
But my mom's name is Virginia. And it's kind of
Check
close
your
to
home.
Regina. It's like, I wonder if it was trying to, say my mama's name. I hope not.
Jerry.
Mortuary.
So we asked to see you. Kind of tripped me out because there was like a little pull up there, kind of looked like something like poking its head up. But we asked to see you, and you said later. How much later do we have to wait to see you tonight? Are you gonna show yourself up here in this upstairs, or are you gonna show yourself when we're downstairs? Could you at least say that? Could you tell us downstairs or up here? Could you shut both of those off if you want us to go to the creepy corner? Both of those being the flashlights in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Could you shut those flashlights off if you want us to go to the creepy corner, please?
I'm alone here.
Could you play with this REM pod again? That's here in the middle.
Gifts.
Gifts.
I don't want to scare you.
Gifts.
I don't want to scare you because I said show yourself. And I was telling you we want to see it as it goes off.
Thumb.
Thump. Alright, so it sounds like it wants us to go to the creepy corner. What do you guys think? Should we go to the creepy corner?
Let's go to the creepy corner.
This right here used to be the men's restroom. All right, you can see the drop down ceiling here. Now, we do have one reported death that happened in this location. There was 2 gentlemen after the Primrose had just opened up by the name of Paul Goodhue and William Davidson. Now, Paul had made fun of William's hair, who prefers to be called Bill, by the way. He had made fun of his hair, and Bill didn't like that, so he shoved Paul, who had tripped and fallen and hit his head on either a radiator or pipe, and unfortunately was pronounced dead on scene. Both spirits have come through, and like I said, he prefers to be called Bill. Bill has come through and said that, he's sorry, he's a changed man, and he seeks forgiveness. So if y'all have ever watched the episode of Ghost Brothers where they're here, you'll actually see where Laura had a really cool photo. And it's actually between this brown post here and the white post to the bar. And at first it just looks like a regular picture from the double doors looking back, but when you start zooming in on it, you actually see a mass in between these two. And she started looking at it and she goes, that actually looks like a face. And she goes, that face looks very familiar. And so she pulled up a picture of Carl Lawson and did a side-by-side, and it looked dead on him. You could see his glasses, his mouth, his hair, and it looked like he was poking around the corner. And everybody's like, oh, maybe he's just keeping an eye on the place, making sure it's safe. And I'm like, yeah, probably. Also, back when Carl would come here and he'd drink and he'd tell his stories, he would sit down at this end of the bar, and this is where he would drink his whiskey. So this is the ballroom, or as as it was in the day, this was the casino. This is where the men would come and lay their money down. Now, back here, we have what we call the creepy corner, and that's because it's creepy. Obviously, it does give you the heebie-jeebies and things like that, but we've had a lot of psychics, mediums, sensitives, things like that come through here, and they say that this is actually a portal to another dimension. Now, I did have a group come through here last year called Southern Heat Paranormal. And as I'm giving them the tour and everything like that, I was talking about this, and the lead investigator had told me that he had actually read a book about this place and how supposedly there used to be like a hanging or a lynching tree here, and there was 15 or 16 hangings, and only one of which were legal. And so I stopped and I started thinking, I'm like, man, you know what, poltergeists just by themselves can create a lot of havoc, What happens when you get 15 really pissed off spirits in one location? That energy is going to sit there and fucking rave and maybe, just maybe, open up that portal to another dimension that these psychics, medium sensitives are talking about. Now, a lot of stuff that'll happen back here is, damn near everything, we'll just say. Shadows, mists, orbs, footsteps, full-bodied apparitions. The building will shake, kind of like this. It's a little weird, I know, especially when it's you and one other person in here and, all your equipment's starting to bug out and whatnot. That was a very fun night. I've seen orbs with my own eyes actually floating from the table over to the pool table. They do like to play pool, and so a lot of people will take, pool balls and set them on the edges. They'll put the chalk and set them on top to see if they move. Now, last year, April 18th, 8 o'clock tour, I had 8 people. It was my first time ever seeing a full-bodied apparition. It was one of our regulars, and he brought his friends and his family, and so typically when I do the 2-hour tours, I have that light on and the rest of them off. But I had that one off at this point. And so there was a big dude on the tour. All right, he was probably, 6'3", 6'4", 350, big guy. And as I'm sitting here talking, I was actually up a little bit further, and I had my flashlight out. And so as I'm sitting here shining my light, there's, the bull's typically facing the operator's tent here. But I had my light, now I'm shining it, and this guy is walking on the edge of my light. And I'm like, okay, I'm still talking, and all of a sudden I shine my flashlight and on the bull, and the shadow casted him. And so I went, hey dude, you can't. I looked to my right, and he's standing up against the wall. And I was like, no, you were just, and he goes, Bubba, I'm a big boy. You don't think I'd make this place shake if I started running? And I was like, you got a point. So that was my very first time ever seeing a full-bodied apparition. I had been here for 5 years and finally got to see one, so it was about damn time,
Right. Shit, did y'all hear that?
Hear what?
There was like taps.
Did you?
Was it?
Yeah.
You sure there wasn't anything in the flashlights?
No, it was like taps, like literal taps.
It's kind of cool because like a night vision, though there's a camera up there and it captures that light from that camera.
Look by the exit.
That's the exit, that's what we're hearing noises.
Yeah.
You guys are hearing noises, it's the same, look by the exit.
Who's by the exit?
We got 2 exits over here too.
But it was coming from over there.
Up here.
Here. So is this you trying to show yourself to us? Is that what you're trying to do? Since we asked you earlier to show yourself to us, are you trying to appear and show yourself? We got multiple devices on every single one of these chairs. Could you set off one of these devices to let us know that you are here joining us in this circle? Or if you want to be the center of attention and set off the REM pod, you could touch the REM pod and let us know that you want to be the center of attention and we are here, focus it on you. Flashlight turned on, went off, on.
And that one turned on.
That one turned on?
Yeah.
Could you touch one of those cat balls for us? All you gotta do is just basically touch it. Arlene will touch the one right next to her and give you an example of what you gotta do. You physically just gotta touch it, and literally just like that, it sets it off. As soon as this cat ball shuts off, you're more than welcome to touch any one of these cat balls and let them make those beautiful colors. Maybe it's an adult and don't like the colors. Maybe they'll go off like for a child downstairs in the basement,
Yeah, but I'm also kind of curious about the exit. It said look by the exit.
Information.
There's information by the exit?
But like I want to know exactly which exit, because we said creepy corner, but like we said earlier, like a couple minutes ago, there's an exit over there, another one over there.
Did you hear that?
I just heard Gio talking.
Many happy memories.
Many happy memories.
It's constant. Like I can hear it constantly.
Could you say creepy corner?
6 o'clock.
6
Kill.
6 o'clock kill. 6 o'clock kill. Who was killed at 6 o'clock? Didn't you say that there was a death in here? Like when the mob was here with the
right
JQ.
here,
Yeah. Because it was whenever the mob was here and then they killed somebody and then they got shut down. 6 o'clock and killed.
You guys heard that, right?
Yeah, I thought it was Arlene moving over there. Was it you moving or no?
No, I didn't move at all.
Like it kind of sounded like a knock, but kind of sounded like from back here.
Kind of like where those chairs are at over there?
Yeah.
Like those chairs that are lined up?
Maybe he's having his whiskey.
Could be.
Fear.
Have you guys
Fear.
heard that?
Archangel.
I was literally gonna say that, Project Fear.
Right.
Could you say corner in one of these devices?
For the creepy corner.
That'd be like so sick if it said that.
And we have no fear. Not right now anyways. Maybe if you show yourself to us, maybe it will change our mind. But I guarantee you we will not leave. We'll still make our money's worth here. But if you want to try to scare us, please do so. That's what we're here to do, is trying to find out if this place is truly haunted. And a way for that, for you to prove that to us, is either if you show yourself, or you continue knocking for us, or even give us messages. That is correct.
Yes, I can.
Yes, I can. Well, then do it for us, please. We ask very politely, could you give us an obvious sign that you are here with us and prove to us that this place is haunted? Kind of like something was from back over here. Did you hear that or what?
Yeah.
Kind of like a small tap.
Yeah, it was either a tap or it was a raindrop. Because it
Yeah,
could have been
I heard it over there.
Yeah, it was something over here,
And then
like
the
I heard off of this
flashlights
side.
kept going.
Cat.
Cat? What kind of cat? What color is this cat? I haven't seen any cat on this premises.
Could you possibly walk on the stage and we'll hear your footsteps?
Flashlight went off.
What the fuck?
What the
Jesus
fuck?
Christ,
bro?
what?
I heard some shit over there.
What'd you hear?
Just like fucking taps, but it was like right there.
On the floor?
I don't know.
Was that you making noises? If so,
Count.
count. You want her to count how many taps you're doing?
It was like 2. It's like if they were going like
Like
if
walking
somebody
up
was
to you?
walking to the stage or some shit.
Yeah, because he asked them to walk on the
Yeah.
stage. Was that correct? Was it 2 steps that you take?
Alright guys, but real quick, we did drive 14 hours just to come to the Bobby Mackey's, so please like it up and subscribe right now, because like
1940s.
Correction on that. Geo drove 14 hours. Chris and Arlene drove 16.
Dark entity here.
Could you tell us the location where this dark entity is? Is it the creepy corner where they say that there is a portal at? Is that the location that this dark entity is located?
Door.
Is it the door that's on the stage or is it the exit door? If it's the door on the stage, say stage. And if it's the door at the exit, could you say exit?
Protected.
Well, thank you for protecting us, if that's what you're referring to. We thank that spirit that is here to protect us from that dark entity. And to that dark entity, you do not have the permission to attach to us or touch us.
Dead end.
Dead end. What's a dead end? Are you saying the exit? Is that your way of saying exit? Dead end? Should we go to the creepy corner? If so, shut off this red flashlight first, followed by that white flashlight. I want you to turn the red flashlight off and then walk over to the white flashlight and shut that one off. Red one's off. If you shut that white flashlight off, we'll go to the creepy corner. If that's where you're luring us to and communicate with you.
Time.
Time? It takes time? Is that what you're saying? It takes time for you to get from one location to another? And it shut off and then this one came back on? Alright, we'll go to the creepy corner. We'll go spend some time over there and investigate that little corner.
The man scares me.
It could possibly be a child right now, or what?
Right, it could be a child that's trying to communicate with us, trying to protect us.
What is the name of that man?
The man scares me. Gio asks what was his name, and I said Dominic. I worked here.
I worked here.
Look, I move it away slightly.
Goes yellow.
Yeah.
It's green and then goes yellow.
We are here in the creepy corner. This is where multiple people report shadow figures, just like our tour guide Alex said. Chris is finally gonna go under the Estes method.
Bad entities here.
Chris is officially under. If there are any spirits near us, could you tell Chris a name so he could tell us right now?
Regret.
What do you regret? Do you regret having us come towards the creepy corner?
Disasters.
Feel sad.
Feel sad.
Are you done yet?
No, we're not done yet. Actually, we're just getting started.
Who are these people?
Chris, this is Chris, who you're talking through. My name is Arlene.
I'm Gio.
And we're just trying to communicate.
Tomorrow.
Die tomorrow.
What's your name?
Message.
You got a message for us? Your
End
message.
this.
We're not even asking questions like.
Apparition.
End this? No, we're not going to end
Where
this
is God?
yet. Where is God? You tell me.
I'm not going.
I'm not going.
You're
It's
not
like
going
I'm
to
not
tell
going
us?
to.
Yes.
You are going to tell us? We're barely asking any questions.
For real. He's like shouting out like right at like word for word.
Whoever is speaking
Leave
to
it.
us, were you making those tapping noises by this exit earlier?
Flashlight.
Flashlight?
We did leave the flashlights by those chairs that we were sitting at.
And I have a flashlight over the phone here.
Could you possibly set off this REM pod right here that's on the pool table?
Is this real?
This is very real.
There's life after death.
We do believe that there is life after death because of the way we're trying to communicate with you now.
The exit.
I was literally gonna ask, is there a specific place you want us to go to next? And it's
Toxic.
Door. The
door.
exit.
Which door are you referring to?
Is it the door right here, right across from me, where I was hearing the taps earlier? So are you confirming that you were making that noise earlier?
Perfume.
Perfume?
Smart.
Oh, so I'm right.
What do you mean?
Suspense.
Because I said, were you at the door across from me, where the exit is? Were you the one making the noise? And they said smart.
Singing angry.
Singing angry?
Are you angry at us for trying to communicate with you?
One lady
Losing
here.
it.
What is the name of the lady?
Child.
Child. Did you hear that? It was like a kind of like
Ryan.
a footstep like
Agitated.
agitated.
Down here.
Down here.
Why are you agitated?
Fun time.
Fun time.
Stay.
Stay? You want us to stay right here? Or do you want us to move to
No.
another room?
End it.
End it?
And
Well,
what?
We still might have a few more questions for you, so we're not gonna end it just yet.
Scare.
Scare.
Are you gonna scare us? Try closing the door. Maybe that will scare us.
Hey Chris.
Unmasked.
What is
Unmasked.
We kind of already heard you make a few taps and knocks earlier. It's not really scaring us, but it's making us aware that someone's with us.
They will get you.
Who will get us?
Remember, you're not allowed to touch us, not any one of us.
You're also not allowed to attach to us.
Please stop it.
Do you want us to stop the Estes method?
The number 6.
Number 6.
What does the number 6 mean to you?
So we've got 1, the number 7, and now the number 6.
It's like it's counting down or some shit.
My ear's just starting to ring again. Like my left ear is just ringing.
Non-human.
Non-human.
Do you have anything else you want to tell us? Why is this corner so creepy?
Edwardian.
You've kind of gone silent there. Where did you go? Or do you want to sing
No
again?
voice.
No voice. And I just said that you've kind of gone silent there.
How many spirits are here with us right now in this
I
corner?
don't know. I can't hear anything anymore. This ear just will stop ringing.
Like, do you have pain or what?
No, it's just ringing and ringing and ringing. Like you know, if like someone sits there and like talks about you or whatever, and like you just feel like
Yeah.
it just starts ringing. That's really like
Something
Julie.
like
Thumb.
Non-human.
non-human, like kind of entity.
Sadistic.
So we're gonna move on to a different room, and Arlene is gonna go under.
Charlie.
Charlie?
Isn't that the name of one of the entities? Charlie was the one that possessed it, the guy that had the exorcism possessed.
Possessed.
A lot of stuff that'll happen in here is you'll get women's voices. You'll typically be told to get out. They've had people with SLS cameras touching the safe, and all of a sudden 2 stick figures would pop up on the sides, kind of like they're guarding it. And then when they would let go, after about a minute or so, they would disappear. They'd walk back over and touch it, and all of a sudden they'd pop up again. They're kind of defensive over that thing. You know, you ask them what the code is, or, you know, the combination, and you pretty much get told to screw off. I've also had, you know, things say, "I see you." And that's when I would close the window and be like, all right, now you got to come through the doorway to come see me.
All right.
And then so, like I said, this used to be Bobby's hangout. This was where he would stay after, you know, after the performances. And Bobby likes his bourbon. He likes whiskey. He likes moonshine. Typically, he would have a couple bottles in here. And one night I was sitting in his seat, which was right over here, and there was a bottle of bourbon sitting next to me. And one of the girls on the tour was like, whose whiskey's that sitting next to Alex? And I went, that's Bobby Mackey's. And I was like, no shit, yeah it is. Like, Bobby loves this shit, you know? So it was it's pretty cool, and they're pretty smart in here. So
Arlene is gonna go under the SS method.
Flashlight's also set up there. We got flashlight on top of the vault. And then another one set off over here on to the left, which is the red one. The red for no. And then we'll do the white for yes. 2 stick figures from that device.
Cigarette.
Children here.
Do you know what room we're in?
I don't believe it.
What don't you believe? The supernatural?
Because we want to talk.
Because we want to talk. I don't believe it because we want to talk.
With the what?
What the what?
Earlier, you said children here. How many children are here? Could you give us a number in either of these spirit talkers or through Arlene?
Those are the rules.
Can you tell us how many spirits are inside this room? Can you give Arlene a number?
Emotional.
It's the fact that
It's the fact that I was emotional.
It's the fact that I was emotional. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at that. And then the flashlight on top of the safe shuts off.
For any children spirits here, we have this cat ball right here. Just touch it like that and it'll light up colors. It'll let us know that you are in this vicinity.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
So
That's what
we'll
time
do-
we started our investigation at. 9 o'clock.
It's crazy.
That's mad crazy.
What's also crazy, I don't know if I think I'm pretty sure it said it when you went under in the creepy
Stop.
corner.
Stop what? What do you want us to stop?
Do you want us to stop talking?
This flashlight.
there was like a little pause just now.
Did that flashlight
The
just
flashlight
die?
died, yeah.
You're just using the light from the phone?
I'm just using light from the phone at this point now,
How
yeah.
does the view on that?
I mean, I can see you perfectly fine.
I was saying that when you went under the SS method in the creepy corner, we got 6 o'clock.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Turn around.
Are you singing to us? Turn around? Or are you telling us to look outside this
Listen
window?
upstairs.
Listen upstairs. We are upstairs. Oh, wait, actually, there's that attic up there.
Yeah, the room that it's off limits.
But it's off limits, yeah. So we were asked to try to get the combination to this safe. Could you tell us the combination to this safe?
You know I want.
No, I won't. We know you want the combination to the safe, or you want the money from the safe? Sure. Well, could you give us the combination then?
Radio.
Radio frequencies.
I'll take.
You'll take what? The combination? Or you talking about the money that I just said you wanted the money?
All these.
I'll take all these.
Take all these hoes? Because remember how he said that? It was like he was a pimp and he didn't wanna. He had like all these side chicks.
Everybody.
All these hoes in different area codes.
Yeah.
You know how he said that? So maybe it's that guy that we're talking to, that he had all these different women all over him, but he didn't want to settle down. He just wanted to have fun.
Cold.
Roman.
That's crazy because I
Roman.
literally just got chills.
She said cold and she got chills. Are you standing by Arlene?
If you're standing by Arlene, could you set off that REM pod that's next to her? You set it off earlier, if that was you. Also, earlier, you said the name Charlie. Charlie, are you in this room?
You.
Realizing.
You were realizing that Charlie's here? Is that what you're trying to tell us? We're realizing that Charlie is here?
Tickle.
Like a kid?
Yeah,
Like a kid being
children.
tickled? Because you said if there was any kid spirits in here, could you set off this
Cat ball.
cat ball?
Yeah.
So
But it's
it won't tickle you, but it will set off pretty colors if you happen to touch that cat ball. It won't harm you whatsoever.
Again, any children down here? This cat ball right here, that's by the doorway. I just touched it with my foot. If you do the same thing, it'll do
Window.
subscribe or what?
Yeah, she said window.
To
Yeah,
this
and
window?
that's this window here. What about the window? Is someone seeing us through the window, or what are you trying to say? Just feel like something like clicked right next to me. We're standing still.
We.
You.
Calm down, Ryan. Or what? Oh,
Remember?
it did say you.
Yeah.
It said you, and then it said we.
Oh shit, yeah, literally
Yeah,
right
literally,
after.
like literally, yeah. It said you, and then it
Jesus
said we.
Christ. Shout out Jacob Markovich and his filmer Nerf.
Nah, yeah.
Well.
Or if you want
Bobby.
Mackey.
Ain't no way.
Dude, it just said Bobby.
I kind of heard like, tell me, or something like that.
Tell me Bobby.
Tell
And
me.
I actually want.
Or tell me about Bobby Mackey's. I want to be exposed. I want to be out there or something.
What about Bobby?
Fuck, I feel like I heard you should stop.
You should stop.
You should stop.
You are not safe.
Voyeur. 13.
God, the number 13.
Dude,
You're afraid of seeing.
we keep on getting like numbers for some reason, like a lot. Like numbers and time frames.
What are we afraid of seeing? We've been wanting to see you this whole time.
No.
Why not? Why can't we see you? We just want to see you. At least once tonight. You're
Child.
A child? So do we need to look lower for a child? Is that what you're saying? That we need to look somewhere closer to the floor? See if we can see a child poking its head in? Or out?
Look in the mirror.
Holy Spirit.
Look in the mirror, Holy Spirit. Are you talking about the mirrors in the portal as we first walk in? Is that what you're referring to?
Get ready to.
Cut.
Get ready to cut. Cut the cameras?
Jesus.
I mean,
I was thinking about, didn't he say, or did that meat slaughter never existed? Or never
he
happened?
said that it was here. He did say that there was a slaughterhouse that was once here in this location.
Oh my god.
Sorry about
Shit.
instant
What?
reflex.
It was just,
Yeah.
it said the name Bobby.
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
said Bobby.
And now
Then
when you tapped me, I thought I saw something behind me, so I'm low-key over here now. So
on the
Yeah, like out there.
You've been saying something like to show itself,
Was this my
and it
mind
just
playing
said.
tricks on me or what?
Because we're seeing, or that's the outside of
And
where
as
the
you
stage
say
is at.
that, Let's go down to the basement.
Let's go down to the basement.
I can't allow y'all to go up into Carl's apartment. The only thing I can do is I can't open it up and say, hey, this is where the stairway is. This is the same set of steps that Janet Mackey was shoved down when she was 5 months pregnant with their youngest daughter. I have had a tour where I was standing here talking. It was me and 2 other people, and they were like, shh, shut up. And I was like, okay, you know, rude ass. But we heard 2 men having a conversation, but you couldn't make out what they were saying. Well, obviously you see the door right there, so I went running outside and I was, you know, looking around, and
out there. Yeah.
there was no one. I come back in and they said, well, as soon as you open that door out front, it stopped. Come to find out, this happens all the time. It was just the first time I ever got to hear it. But yeah, you'll get disembodied voices that happen all the time. Main basement area. Over here to our left is Carl Lawson's old workshop. Now, obviously, Carl's no longer using it in the land of the living. Maybe he's using it in the land of the dead. People do say they'll see an apparition poke its head out. Sometimes it'll walk out, it'll go to the well room, and then it'll go back. Now, back here is where the Ghost Adventures crew has caught the apparition of a man with a cowboy hat, you know, walking from the doorway over to the left. Now, we've been able to, you know, replicate this several times because apparently there's multiple spirits with cowboy hats that like to pace back and forth back here. This room was said to be Johanna's dressing room, and so that's why we have the flowers back there to signify the rose scented perfume. A lot of stuff that'll happen in here is chairs will move. Long hair tends to get played with. You might feel a slight touch like you're walking through a spider web, or somebody's taking a paintbrush to your face. A lot of the times they say Johanna will do that to your elbow. One person caught an apparition hanging from the rafters, which is how they believe Robert Randall was killed. Y'all seen it in Sam and Colby's video. You seen Alex get scratched. I'm gonna tell you all about that room real quick, all right? That is the green room, all right? I don't like that room. So at one point, I used to tour it all the time. I would talk about the doorway with the bullet hole in it. I would talk about the sinks that, you know, filled with blood and Janet was being shoved into. And all the while when I would be doing that, I'd be getting stomped at and I'd be hearing hissing. And, you know, I didn't think much of it. You know, it's a haunted basement. Right. Eventually someone brought Novulus in and it said, share. Well, I kind of stumbled over my words, but I got back on track. And then it said Johnny. And so I asked, you know, what did it say? And it said, share like the singer. And then it said, Johnny, why? And they say more, you know, malevolent spirits will use your friends and your family against you. Share's my mother's name. Johnny is my friend who had literally taken the tour right before them. On the 45-minute tours, typically we talk about the stories behind the place. We tell you about Johanna being 5 months pregnant. We talk about Pearl being 5 months pregnant, Janet being 5 months pregnant, all being harmed and all located around this area. And one of the girls on my tour was like, I just found out the other day I'm 4 months pregnant. And I was like, damn, girl, you got some big ass balls to come down here after me telling you all that shit. Right. You know? There's definitely something in there that doesn't like people being in there. This is the Room of Faces, and the reason why we call it that is the walls surrounding us. So everything that I typically point out on a tour is over here. So, you know, you'll see like, you know, demons looking up at the ceiling screaming. You'll see disfigured, you know, heads, or even it kind of looks like an alien head. There's the old George W. Bush right over here is what I, you know, typically call him. You can see his eyes, his mouth wide open, hair.
Oh shit, yeah.
I say this right here actually looks like Pearl Bryan because you can see her jaw, lips, nose, eyes, her brown poofy hair. And the most dominant one you see is the lady laying in bed. Here you can see her dark hair resting on a white pillow. You can see her head, her neck. It looks like she's either wearing a scarf or maybe her hair streaked over. A dress strap and her arm dangling down. Like she's laying in bed dead or passed out, you know. We are at a bar. A lot of psychics, mediums, sensitives have come down here and done their whole deal with the wall. And they say that these are actually the souls who have lost their lives here. And the lady laying in bed is actually Johanna. A lot of stuff that happens in here is damn near everything. All right. I mean, this is where people have gotten scratched, touched, disembodied voices. This is where people have become possessed. Air quotations for some people, I'm sure we all know who. As you see all around, we have toys. These are for our children's spirits that are, I say unfortunately just because obviously they met their untimely demise, but that are unfortunately here. People have caught Class A EVP of a child saying, I like bicycles. So they went out, bought a bike, brought it in the very next week. So for the longest time, I always had people, you know, telling me that there was a little girl down here trying to get my attention. And so when I started doing the 2-hour tours, that was when I was able to, you know, I had a spirit box and I was able to communicate with the spirits finally. And so I asked, you know, I'm like, is there a little girl here who's been trying to get my attention? And I got a yes. And I said, okay, you know, what's your name? And it said Barbara. And I'm like, Barbara, it's very great to meet you finally. You know, and then so over time, Barbara and I, we kind of built a little bit of a relationship. She liked to use the EVP, or the EMF detector, I'm sorry. And so it would be, you know, red for yes, green for no. And so one night I was like, hey, you know, do you want to play with a toy? And it went to red, and I said, okay, I'm going to point at a toy. You know, you tell me when it's the one you want to play with. And so it dropped to green, and so I'm going around and I'm pointing at every toy. And I finally pointed at that teddy bear, and it's sitting out for this specific reason. And it pegged red. And I was like, this is the one you want to play with. And it stayed red. I said, okay. Grabbed it, dropped to green. So I set it down on the ground for her to play with. And then at the end of the session, I was like, all right, Barbara, I said, I'm putting your teddy bear up for you. I'm putting your baby up for you. That way it doesn't get, you know, dirty or anything. And I set it down. I went to grab the spirit box to turn it off. And it went, baby? I was like, yes, sweetie, I'm putting your baby up for you. I get a lot of people who are like, well, this place is supposedly full of demons. What if it's a demon disguising itself? Right. And I'm like, all right, you know, I do get that because it's a concern. But I did have a night where a lady brought in a spirit box because we encourage them to bring their own equipment. And she wanted to use it, so I went ahead and I let her. And we got a little bit of activity and stuff. And towards the end, she was about to turn it off, and every single one of my tours, you know, I'm like, hey, you know, I'm worried about what's going to happen when this place gets torn down. I'm worried about my spiritual friends that are here. You know, I've made friends. She goes to grab it to turn it off, and you hear, I'll be okay, like in a little girl's voice. And I was like, whoa, don't touch that. And like I had to collect myself for a second, and I said, what do you mean you'll be okay? And you heard, I'll be free, in the same voice. Like if that is a demon, like why would it be sitting there trying to comfort me? Right. I have had disembodied voices as well as growling. One time I asked, you know, who's here with us? And it went, the devil. And then back in the corner here where all the doors are, you heard. So I've also had the disembodied laughter come around from the compressor area. After some time, I told him, I was like, if you don't give me your name, I'm going to give you one. And he never would. So I ended up nicknaming him Peeves from Harry Potter. You know, he's a poltergeist who, you know, he's mischievous. He likes messing with students and teachers and other spirits. He said no. He said that's not his name. I said, what's your name? He said, Sheriff. Sheriff Peeves. No. Sheriff. So it wasn't until I had done a presentation at Scarefest, right? Because I haven't been doing, you know, the 2 hours and the 5 hours very long. So I just learned like the real history about this place not very long ago. And so at Scarefest, you know, I was still absorbing some shit. And as Laura was sitting there talking about Sheriff George Ratterman shutting down the Latin quarters, I stopped and I looked at her. And she looked at me and she's like, what? I'm like, do you think? And she goes, your smart ass friend? And I was like, yeah. So I had a 5 hour that Sunday. And when we got done, we walked outside. I said, I need you all to do me one favor. I said, when you go down there, I have a smart ass friend. I said, he says his name's the Sheriff. I call him Peeves. Ask him what his name is. 3 hours later, they came up and they're like, this went on, this went on, this went on. By the way, the Sheriff said his name is George. George Ratterman, who shut down the Latin quarters, still here fucking, you know, making sure that shit's going good here. This is the inside of John Pop's house. And if you ever hear the phrase, they don't make it like they used to, they're actually talking about the wallpaper. You can still see the flowers. Oh, yeah. So, you know, 90, 100-year-old wallpaper, still big chillin' and showing all the pretty colors. So back when this was the primrose in the Latin quarters, this room was known as the China room. And that's because all these walls had shelves that had all the dishes and silverware. And so over here is the jail cell where they found the 14 showgirls locked in. Now, obviously it's pretty tiny. Right. A lot of stuff that'll happen in there is you'll see shadow figures moving in and out from it, as well as small items being thrown, such as rocks. Now, over here is the Stairway to Nowhere. It's also called the Stairway to Heaven. If y'all are musicians, please don't play it. We ain't got time for that. So a lot of stuff that'll happen here is shadows, mists. You'll hear footsteps that typically come down and stop in the threshold here. I had a lady actually on one of my 45-minute tours. She was snapping pictures, and she took a picture of here. And at the end of the night, you know, after she freaked out and left and then came back, you know, she was apologizing to me. And I was like, it's all good, you know. It happens. She starts showing me all these pictures, and finally she got to that last picture, and it's me standing here like this. Well, in the doorway here, laying down just like that with 2 yellow eyes. Right here, this is the portal to hell. This is the old well. It's capped off for multiple reasons. One is safety, because without that cap, it'd be about a 14-foot drop. It's also capped off because we have the river right behind here, and that river does like to flood. And so typically if we get around like 50, 55 feet, that water pressure is enough to be able to send it through and be able to flood this area.
I think her name was Barbara, but that was her and Grandpa's going off over there.
Barbara.
Are you confirming that Barbara's the name? Grandpa's just firing.
You're getting it though, right?
Somewhat, yeah. It's at a distance.
Somewhat.
It's at a distance.
Oh, like you can see it.
But I can see it going off, yeah. Johanna is the girl with the other room over there that there's no legal documentation or anything on her showing that she was even alive in this area, but she was one of the dancers, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, she was a dancer for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And that was her dressing room over there.
Who was setting off that REM pod earlier?
Crumpling.
Crumpling?
Crumpling?
Yeah.
As you guys know, Arlene's over here yawning because we just took a 16-hour drive here to do this investigation to survive 5
hours inside Bobby Mackey's, one of the most haunted places here in the United States.
My God.
Love the motivation. Love the enthusiasm in your voice.
Do you enjoy our company here? Do you feel like we make your time worth being here at this location, although it is going to be destroyed? Does that make you happy that we get to spend some time here with you before this building gets demolished within the next month?
Do you think you'll be free?
Come back.
Come back.
Go back.
I did something bad.
Did something bad.
Go back, I did something bad. What did you do?
Dark soul.
Dark soul.
I was gonna say, like, basically throughout the whole night here at Bobby Mackey's, we've been getting a lot of numbers and a lot of like time frames. I guess you could say like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
When did it say 9? Whenever
When
I
you
was
were
Under, yeah.
And it said 6 when you were under. It
So I
said
wonder
Wait
what
and see.
I wonder what time it's gonna say. I was literally gonna say I wonder what time it's gonna say for Gio when he goes under and it says wait and see. So I wonder if it's gonna give us a time.
Yeah.
Could you play with this REM pod right here that's next to me?
You set it off
Carol.
before we started recording. Would you set that REM pod off again? If you can't set it off. Did you hear that?
Nah, bro, I was fucking yawning again.
Sounded like there was footsteps right above us. But it literally sounded like 2 steps. Who's upstairs? Can you tell us the name of the person that is upstairs? The spirit or entity that is upstairs that is currently walking up there? I could swear I heard 2 footsteps. I want to give you one last chance to set that REM pod off for us. If you can't set it off for us, we're going to go into the well and finish our investigation over there and have Gio go under the SS method.
Carl.
Carl?
Carl.
No way.
Carl was the one that I got
That was upstairs.
in the exorcism.
Yeah, and I asked who's upstairs, and it says Carl's upstairs.
And remember, upstairs is the monster room.
This place is like mad, like it's like the spirits here are smart, I guess you could say.
Yeah, they know how to type.
My happy place.
This is their happy place.
Or the girl's happy place.
Yeah, because she said I'm lonely here.
Yeah.
Screen.
Screen.
Screen?
Like a TV screen.
Yeah, okay. Unless it's telling us to look at our screen because it's trying to show itself through the screen.
Is there something behind me? Or I guess the things that give out that like this wall or whatever.
Face out.
The
The faces.
Is the sheriff in the room?
Jeff.
But it's spelled like my name, Geoff.
Sheriff George.
Chef George,
yeah.
if you're in here with us, could you set off that REM pod? Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and head over to the well and finish our investigation off over there.
Set it off in what, 3 seconds?
Yeah, that's fine.
1, 2, 3. Imagine. I just feel
It's like so quiet too, though, you know. Like this house.
What's that box?
What's that box?
What
The
box?
spirit box. Are you talking about the spirit box? Or are you talking about the box that's on top of my
Get us
phone?
out.
Get us out?
I was thinking either the spirit box or
Is there a box in here?
maybe a divot box. Is there a divot box in here?
I don't know.
I don't see any boxes in here.
Alright, how do you guys feel about finishing off in
The well?
the well?
Find the truth.
We're trying to find a truth.
I can't find my way.
I can't find my way. And that said what?
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth?
Find the truth?
Oh, find the truth. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Who was that made that noise? Earlier someone said they could throw something. Could you throw that doll off of that chair? Imagine.
For real, because it's like leaning back.
Surprised as a bone.
For real, and like on top of it, like there's like the seat is not like leveled. It looks
Right, it's
like,
kind of like puffed up, huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so I say let's go ahead and let's go take ourselves off to the well.
Joe.
Let's go to the well.
My name is George.
My name is George. George, did
The
you?
number 4.
George, we asked you to follow us from the other room. Is that you that followed us, Sheriff George? And it said the number 4. So I wonder if that's when we asked what number it's gonna give us whenever Geo goes in
Yeah.
there.
Because it's got 9. Has it said 8?
I don't think it said 8 yet. No.
7, 6, 4. The fuck does that mean?
Internet.
Internet?
Yeah, this is we're making this video for the internet. We're wanting to tell your story, but we need you to participate with us and tell us a little bit more about your story. Let us know something that we could tell the world. Because once we become a little bit bigger, they're gonna watch this video and we'll be able to tell your story.
It's going to give you.
It's going to give you what? Geo is currently sitting in the portal to hell, or what's said to be the portal to hell.
Feel something.
What's he supposed to feel?
Disaster.
Disaster? Are you referring back to that this building is going to be destroyed?
1970s.
1970s is what it said on the...
The 1970s was a disaster?
They want to
Yeah.
often.
They want to often.
Who's they?
Weak?
Weak.
Who's weak?
Justin.
Justin's weak? If there's any spirits with us down here inside the basement right now, could you make yourself known? Would you be able to show yourself to us? Myself and Arlene are up here while Geo is inside the well.
Get.
What do you want us to get? Could you set out that REM pod that's inside the jail cell? Could you set that off for us down here? Hold on to put this one here. I'm gonna move back to this staircase real quick.
How can we find it?
So right here where I set the REM pod was said that
Seat.
Metal.
yeah, you were having a seat there. You were showing yourself in a photo. If that is true, could you set that REM pod off for us right there? Could you make yourself known? It won't even focus on here. Like it's like bad. You guys have been very intelligent thus far with our investigation. We're about finished with our 5 hours here at Bobby Mackey's.
I've been here 100 years.
If there's anything you would like to say or want the world to know, now is your chance to let us tell your story before they tear this building down and you will no longer be able to communicate with anybody else. after this building is taken down.
Bro, organdies means cotton or silk fabric that is usually stiffened or used for women's clothing.
Oh, so it could be for...
Pearl?
Yeah, for Pearl in that Pearl's room.
Because remember they said they had that theory about what if they threw Pearl's head down the well?
Could be Pearl's head down that well, but like even how he said, like...
They ruled it.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead what? Like continue with this story? Like, are we on the right track?
Continue telling the theory?
Are we on the right track? Is that what you're trying to say, is go ahead? Because that is one of the theories, is they didn't know what happened to Pearl's head. Jeez, what the heck does that mean? Man, I'm about to break our dictionary out again. Good thing we have Sister Arlene over here with a cellular device that can look up these words for us, because
shout out Google.
Our dictionary is not that great for us to be pulling
Stay out the forest.
Talk to words like that. And it says stay out the forest. And by the way, guys, we want to eventually go to New Jersey's Demon Forest, but once it says that, I don't think we need to go to the forest anymore. Disagree? Like you disagree that
they want you to go to that place.
Is either you're disagreeing that you don't want us to go to that forest, or you're disagreeing that the story that we were coming with about the head being in the well is incorrect, and you're disagreeing with that.
Records the motion of an earthquake.
That records the motion of an earthquake?
Yeah. Like that
It says
machine.
sit. Oh, okay. So like it's pretty much saying like
they're
like
installed,
to demolish could cause an earthquake.
Yeah, they're installed in the ground. That's weird. Why would they say that?
That was her.
And that was her Pearl. That
we were
was what
literally
the
talking about that.
yeah.
50.
I don't know how old Pearl was, but we got the.
on the news.
I was on the news.
I was on the news.
It was whenever she went missing, I guess, like allegedly.
Man, that's crazy. That's trippy.
Can't be here. Frequencies.
Can't be here. Frequencies. So like it's pretty much saying like.
What I just said about the fucking earthquakes.
Yeah, like because earthquakes are frequent. What the fuck? Earthquakes are like frequency. I swear something just like pulled on my shirt, like pulled it down, like how my arm's sitting here. I feel like something just like tugged my shirt down.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's weird.
Music.
This place was used for music. Unfortunately, they had to relocate and go to another location in here in Kentucky.
During masters, didn't you get music too, or piano?
Like, oh, I think
You
it
remind
was
me of someone.
piano.
You remind me of someone.
Who do we remind you of?
And earlier it said.
Was it Sam and Colby?
My God. Pearl?
Could you give us your name? Are we on the right track? Could you say Pearl if that's who you're referring to as Pearl? Could you say Pearl on any of the devices that we have? Or even if you could set off that REM pod that's inside the doorway to the portal to heaven? Or the staircase to heaven, I'm sorry. Could you set that REM pod off for us?
Stairs.
Stairs. Oh, we're flipping this baby around. We're gonna look at the stairs real quick.
Say it.
Say it. Say it. The stairway to heaven. Is that what you want me to say? Is that what you're referring to as say it?
Party.
At least 3.
At least 3? 3 parties?
There are 3 of
Or
us.
3 of us here?
Another number.
Door.
Door. Is somebody at the door?
Very. Turn.
I'm looking everywhere.
Oh shit.
That was him.
Fuck, no, I just got chills. Like mad chills.
Slide that as you're looking everywhere and it says that was him.
For activity.
Activity.
There's a lot of activity going on right now. Indeed, indeed.
It's at 15.
Is it?
Yeah.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen.
Up.
Crawling up? Crawling up what? Are you talking about?
The stairs?
Nightmare.
Nightmare?
Shadow.
Shadow? God, it said nightmare and then he said shadow and then said crawling up. Like, are you crawling up the stairs? I want to pull him out, but I mean, he's getting some good stuff right now.
I'm pretty sure it said Geo.
Fuck no.
Gio's gonna be crawling up
Hell.
out of this assist. What?
Beverly.
Oh, Beverly.
Christina.
Just give us a name.
Now it's giving a
Are you
bunch of
giving us
names.
the name of the girls that were trapped in the jail?
Save yourself.
Save yourself? No fucking
My
way.
God, I just got chills all over my body.
All over again. Oh, I'm sorry. This isn't funny or anything, like, because we're, you know, in the pitch black for the most part and getting some of this shit that we're getting right now, and it's saying to save ourselves, and it's giving the name of all these different, like, females, and we're assuming that they were back inside this room right here, which is where the girls were, 14 of them were found.
Yeah.
And then we got Gio over here saying get off, like
12.
12. Now we got a number 12. God, we're just getting numbers off the bat.
I like his.
You like his what? God, I'm trying to. You like his what? Jeez, I almost fell into the well. What do you like? His what? I think we're gonna wrap it up right here. We had Gio in for about at least 18 minutes, roughly.
Yeah, almost 18.
Yeah, and we don't want to keep them in there too long because then, of course, it could be bad for SS methods and whatnot, and, you know, it could cause some bad things. So we're going to go ahead and pull them out and then review real quick. So let's go ahead and get them pulled out. And this says 9, as I have the number 9 on my wrist as I'm looking at it.
Like actually, like I don't know if it said Geo, like it sounded like Geo. It was either Geo or a U.
Uh-huh.
But like it actually sounded like my name, like legit. Alright guys, and that is gonna finalize this video. So we survived, I guess you could say, 5 hours inside Bobby Mackey's.
5 whole hours.
Like, is this place just...
survived.
Yeah, this place actually is haunted, we would say, because like we got a lot of activity in the short amount of time that we had.
Very unfortunate that, you know, this building is going to get torn down because it seems like it was a pretty legit building. Very active for sure.
Possibly going to be one of the last ones, if not few, that are going to be able to investigate Bobby Mackey's here in Kentucky.
A month or less here, so
For
we'll
bookings and stuff?
But we'll see what happens exactly. So
Do us a favor, please subscribe to the channel and like the videos, because again, we drove over 16 hours. We're from Kansas and we drove all the way here to Kentucky to investigate Bobby Mackey's. Yes, this place actually was worth it because we got some crazy activity, not gonna lie.
although it was just 5 hours, but you know, 5 hours well worth it.
Every Estes method that we did, they all tied up with the answers that we got back.
The slogan that we might be saying in every outro, if we remember. If you guys like our vibe, help us thrive and subscribe. So I guess we'll catch you guys in the next video. A lot more places to go in the future, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Definitely stay tuned. Much love. Look at my fucking
Right, so
arm.
what did it just say?
It just said stroking your hair.
Dude, this guy has chills right now.
Fucking mad chills after it said that shit. That's
Stroking.
fucking ridiculous.
Because I was literally grabbing my hair over
As you
there.
were
Like
stroking it.
for like 2 minutes straight.
So we literally wrapped it up in the monster room, and
Yeah.
then
And as I was like stepping down the step, I was grabbing my hair like this. And I was just kind of like messing with it.
yeah, and then it said, "I'm stroking your hair."
The lucky number 7, is that you're referring to? Could you give us the number 7 2 more times and we'll go hit the casino?
Cat.
Cat? I haven't seen any cat on this premises. Let's just trying to call us a pussy.
You know, earlier he said something about attractiveness.
Okay, guys, we are here, stranded in a hotel.
That we
Fucking-
didn't even book.
Like, literally, we just fucking.
slept in the
Car is not turning on. And we came to the conclusion that Chris said in the Estes method last night at Bobby Mackey's. He said, die tomorrow.
Die tomorrow?
Die tomorrow.
For fucking what?
From mad fucking love.
Stranded in Kentucky, boys.
Got a jump starter or what?
Officially inside the Bobby Mackey's or what?
fish inside the Bobby Mackey's. Okay.
Like right off the bat, I don't know, like if you guys notice, like there's like a mad smell.
Yeah. That's the smell. That's like Kobe we're smelling or what?
Well, like it's like the probably like the oldness of the
I
building.
dropped earlier.
Of course, as everybody knows, mirror to mirror is what? Could be a portal.
Yeah, portal.
This is how we're doing the investigation in here today, ladies and gentlemen.
It looks so sick
This shit
from
actually
like this view.
Oh, does it? Yeah.
Yeah. Holy shit. Alright.
This actually looks pretty cool.
How the fuck did Sam access the river? The Licking River? We're out here on the railroad and this is the backside of Bobby Mackey's right here.
With a fucking open window up there, no wonder it's fucking raining or what?
Yeah.
I almost stepped on this turtle. Fuck. God, Arizona.
Cause yeah, you can see the river from right here. Barely. Yeah.
Like, yeah, 'cause that's at a distance. There ain't no way Samuel went down there by himself to
Bobby Mackey's all the way over there.
to get inside the Licking River and get some water.
You guys are new. I'm Gio.
I'm Chris.
And
What was after that?